Hi, today we're going to be learning about how we can add tens to add numbers quickly instead of having to count by ones everything that we do. So we're going to look at this first question right here, and it says, how many tens are here? How many ones are in this 10? So the first thing we're going to do is look at this question, how many tens are here? So we know that a stick of cubes like this is a 10. Why is it a 10? Well, that's because it has 10 cubes in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once you get to 10, you just squish them all together and make a stack of 10 so that it's easier to add the numbers. So if we're trying to figure out how many tens there are, there's only one. There's just one stack of 10. And then if we want to know how many ones are in this 10, if you count each one like we just did, we found out there's 10 little cubes here. So there's one stack of 10 and then 10 little cubes right here. Now if we look at number 2, it says how many tens are here? Let's go ahead and look at that first. So we know that a stick right here of cubes is called a tens, and there's one of them plus another one. So we have 1, 2. There's 2 stacks of 10. So there are 2 tens. Now we want to figure out how many ones are there. So we're going to look at the same number and see if we can show it in a different way. So we have 2 tens, 1, 2, or we can count all the little tiny ones to see how many little tiny ones cubes there are. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 20 ones because there's 20 little ones cubes. Or we can also say it's 2 tens. Let's look at number 3. How many tens are here? We have 1 stack of 10, 2 stacks of 10, and 3 stacks of 10. So if someone asks you how many tens there are, there's 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 stacks of 10. Now, what if we want to know how many ones there are? That means we have to count all these little tiny cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There's 30 ones, 30 little cubes. So the reason we put them together and make tens like this is because it's so much easier to add them. Instead of counting all those little cubes, it takes so much time. It's a lot faster if we just know that this is 10 and that's a 10 and that's a 10, and then we can just count by tens. So we can say there's 3 of them and we'll count by 10. So we'll say 10, 20, 30. So 3 tens is the same as 30. It's just a lot faster if we count by tens. So let's go ahead and look at these numbers down here, and let's see if we can figure out how adding ones helps us to add tens. So if I look at these numbers, there's only one digit, so it's just ones. There's no tens, hundreds, nothing. It's just ones. So we have 3 plus 5. So you can go ahead and draw a picture. You can do 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and count them all up. Or I can just do the brain game. So I can say 3 in my brain and 5 on my fingers. Let's try that. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3 plus 5 makes 8. We can double check with our picture down here. Let's make sure. Here's our 3 and our 5. Let's count them all up just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it matches. So you can do the brain game or draw a picture, and either way works. But those are just two little ways that'll help you add the numbers. So now over here, I feel like this looks pretty similar. There's just one little difference. These problems are really alike because they both have a 3 and a 5. 3 and 5. The only difference is that there's a 0. So this 3 and this 5, they're in the tens place. There's tens now. Over here, there were just ones, but now we have tens. So if you want to know a little trick, all you have to do is add the tens and then add a 0. So I have 3 tens over here plus 5 tens. And we know that 3 plus 5 is 8 because we just did it over here. So 3 and 5 makes 8. So if I have 8 tens, I can put up 8 fingers and we're going to count by tens, okay? So count with me, okay? We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So we have 80. And remember, anytime you say a number that ends in T, like 80, 70, 60, any number that ends in the sound T, that means it's the number that you're saying, A T, and then the T means there's a 0 at the end. So we have 80. So we learned that we can add ones to help us add tens. All you have to do is add the digits in the tens place and then add your 0. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the guided practice that you have in your little newspaper sheet. So I want you to open it up and get ready to do number 1. We're going to do numbers 1, numbers 2, and number 3 together, and then we'll see if you can do the ones on the other side of the newspaper all by yourself, okay? So the question over here says, write the numbers to complete each number sentence. So the first thing we're going to do is write how many tens we have and see how many tens that is, and then we're going to change it to adding in the full tens numbers, okay? So over here we're going to add these tens plus these tens. So I like to cross them off because it helps me make sure I don't count any of them twice. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 tens over there, and then we're going to add how many more tens? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to add 4 more tens. So if I had 3 and 4, that makes 7. I can count all of these tens up together, or I can use the brain game. I can put 3 in my brain and 4 in my fingers. So I go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the same number. Good job. Now we're going to add them as tens. So we have 3 tens. So I'm going to count these by tens. Each one of these has 10 little cubes smushed together, so it makes a 10. So I have 10, 20, 30. It's easier if you use your hands and go 10, 20, 30. That's it. There's no more. So I have 30. Now let's count these over here. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So I'm going to put up 4 fingers and count by the tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. That's it. No more. So I have 30 over there plus 40 over here, and it makes 70. So I just added my 3 and my 4 and then added a 0. It looks really similar to this. The only difference is that there's zeros on the end. So let's see if we can do this one. There's 1 10 over here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1 10 plus 5 tens, and that makes 6. Now all we have to do down here is add the zeros. So we have 1 and then add the 0 to make it 10 plus 50 equals 60. And then the last one